Social media and Google Ads are like a game. They change every single day. When you think you already optimized them and got the hang of them, everything changes again and challenges you one more time. But how to play the game without getting overwhelmed and tired? What are the rules? Should we follow them? Why is it important for business to play this game? Welcome to the She Means Business Master Society podcast, where we empower entrepreneurs to thrive in their journey. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship. We've faced our fair share of challenges, and that's why we've created this space. Here, we will connect with incredible guests, key figures in their fields who have navigated the ups and downs of their entrepreneurial careers. Together, we will share our experiences, insights, and tools that can help you elevate your business to new heights. So, get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the knowledge you need to succeed. Let's jump into today's episode. Comenzamos. I am so happy to introduce someone who never fails to bring wealth of knowledge to our conversations. While our podcast is titled She Means Business Master Society, today we have a special guest who is a he. I firmly believe in the importance of sharing insights from everyone, both women and men. This diversity adds a perfect blend to our podcast. He is a true expert in the realms of social media and Google Ads, with years of invaluable experience. Beyond his impressive skills, he's also a good friend of mine. A social media and Google Ads guru, as I like to call him. Please join me welcoming Sergio Chavez. ¿Cómo estás? How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm very excited about this subject because I need to be completely honest with you. I am definitely an ignorant when it comes to Google Ads. So for me, absorbing all the information that you give me every time we get to talk. And even if it is just for a few minutes, I notice that it's like very valuable. You give me all the good pointers, and that's why I wanted to have you on the podcast.
Well, thank you. Let's see if it can help your audience or whatever I can bring it.
I'm excited.
Whatever value I can bring to you guys.
Of
be
course.
Great. Thanks.
Well, but let's start with, tell me about you. Whoa, how's your life? What do you do? When did you start it? Your story.
Okay. Well, my life, as you were talking about it, I was just thinking this is the world that I live in, right? I always live in the world of social media ads and Google Ads, and giving people a bigger voice, or businesses a bigger voice online, right? And I've been doing that naturally. I fell into it one step at a time, right? I think life just takes you in the direction that, that you have some sort of destiny, and that's what you're made to do, and things you learn. And if you just let yourself go, life is going to show you. And life has shown me that is my talent, and that is what I use my little brain for. And that's all I live in. I see it like the Matrix, right? I can see, like, even before putting up an ad or doing something in social media or doing something in any platform, I can see it like the Matrix, like Neo sees the symbols and stuff like that. For me, it's obvious, and sometimes I go over people's heads because it is so obvious, right? And sometimes what's obvious to you might not. I started doing this back in 2008, after the recession, and trying several business ventures and failing miserably, and ending up picking up plates in a restaurant and playing poker part-time to make ends meet. A friend advised me to go back to school, and I listened, and he said, there's this thing called WordPress, and it's a big thing that it's a skill that's going to be very needed by marketers. He was a marketer, an internet marketer. So I went and started learning web design at UNLV. I went to business owners, and I told them, hey, the classes were, I guess, like $300 per class, and it was a curriculum of 8 to 12 classes, and I would go to friends of mine that own businesses, and I would ask them for the money, and then I would apply the class.
You would show up just randomly and just say, hey, do you want me to do your Google ads?
Well, no, it wasn't Google Ads back then. It was just like building a little website or
Oh,
building.
it was website.
Yeah,
Okay.
websites.
Okay.
Yeah. So that it started like that, and then it iterated down to Google Ads. But yeah, I mean, I learned. I was very lucky to go to UNLV, and then I learned from people that were actually doing it all the time, and then I became friends with my teachers, and I started just building websites and just doing that type of work, digital marketing work. And it was amazing to see how at the time it was something so new. I would go to a business, and one of my first big successes was an insurance company, and I built their website first, and then they asked, what about this? Like if I type it in Google, how does it show up in first place? So I started learning the craft of search engine optimization, which is how, the results come up to the top whenever somebody's looking, let's say, for auto insurance Las Vegas. For a while, I was ranking number 1. So imagine that website was bringing a lot of money into that company. And I didn't know. And they were paying me peanuts for that, right?
When you say peanuts, how much is peanuts whenever you start something like this?
Like $1,600 a month for full-time work.
Oh, wow.
So what's like $20,000 salary? So,
whoa. And
they were like netting a lot more than $1 million, right? A year out of my work. Right?
Wow.
So I got wind of that because they wouldn't tell me, but somehow I found out, and then something clicked in my head. The internet is very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing it, promoting myself to other businesses and doing. Back in the time, YouTube wasn't a big thing, and you would do videos for YouTube like how to do insurance in Las Vegas, or what happens if you get into an accident, and that would rank first place, and that would bring a lot more business. So, I mean, it's been a journey, and I've been in the digital marketing space full time ever since then. I have not held a job in any other position. And
no more washing dishes?
No, nothing.
No? Okay.
No, I mean, I
Not
wasn't washing dishes. Yeah.
Tell me the truth.
Yeah. I'll do a dish once in a while at home.
One.
I'll pick up my dishes, right? So yeah. So in 20 so like 8 years after, in 2016, I just decided to dedicate myself full time to the ad part of it, because it is very tangible. It's like you can tell if you put $1 how many dollars you get back.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And so when you say that, I mean, we're probably going to get more into that, but
of course,
when you say that, so I'm sure there's a way to measure. Is there like a chart or something that tells you exactly how much money you make?
Yeah, you can tell. There's so many ways. There's tracking platforms. The ad platforms will tell you. So let's say you spend $1,000 on, promoting She Means Business photography, and then after 2 months you get 5 or 6 jobs, and the jobs are worth $1,000 each. Then you put in $1 and you got $5 back.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
There's ways to track. Yeah, you have to have a. That's the cool thing about ads, that it's predictable. You can tell up to a certain point how much it's gonna make. Of course, things change. Like humanity, like you were saying in your intro, everything changes. Another photographer is gonna come in and bid for that, and then they're gonna steal your cheese, right? So then you have to start outmaneuvering them, improving, changing things, making a better message, making a better offer. There is a plethora of things that is just, it's a universe. It's a big chess game that you always have to be figuring out. And I really like big chess games. It's that, for me, that's the way my mind works. I'm always saying it. I like looking at the world like a chessboard and seeing what the next move is and how to better execute.
Wow. Okay. But I have so many questions. Let's just put them in order. So, when it comes to Google Ads, who is your ideal client? Who are you serving right now?
I'm serving a lot of businesses, to be honest. One of the big things that my teachers have always told me is to niche down, and that means to choose an industry. Mm-hmm. The thing about what I do is that it has a lot of common denominators that can be used across the industries. So, I mean, I serve, dental industry. I serve real estate agents. I serve a meditation cushion company called In Harmony. A shout out to those guys. They did great this last November for Black Friday and all those days. And they're all different. They are very, very different industries. But
and when it comes to sides of business, is there any any sides of business that is more like into who is your client is right now?
Okay, yeah. I mean, a business has to make at least they have to make at least $25,000, in gross for us to consider them a month. You start your way up trying to help the person that makes $5,000 make 10. But it's a very different animal dealing with a company that already has certain revenue and understands the value of advertising and stuff like that, as to somebody that's just like, oh, I want to try this, right?
Just starting, yeah. Because they don't know where they're going probably, and somebody that is over $25,000 is probably more more into business when it comes to years. So it probably 3-5 years maybe. So they're already past the time wherever they are testing the waters.
Correct. So yeah, you have to have our threshold is that, but we have clients that make, I have a client that probably grosses 30-40 million a year. Wow. So I like helping people. So I go from I help the small guy and I help the big guy.
Yeah. And what I like of you, Sergio, well, it's Sergio in English, just for you guys, Sergio, is that you educate people before making them your clients. So I remember when you and I started working together, you came to me and gave me all these bays that helped me make the decision to take the step forward when it comes to Google Ads. And I really appreciate that. So what is that base that you saw on me as a small business that made you think, oh yeah, she will do good in Google Ads, so yeah, I'll take you as a client?
Okay, so one of the bases that your industry has a high profit margin, right? All you have to do is you show up, you put in the hours. There's not a lot of expenses. Maybe your gas, maybe a person that helps you, right? So out of every dollar, you can make 90 cents, or out of every $100, a lot is profit, not expenses. So the more profit there is, the more profit margin there is in an industry, the easier it is to advertise and to make a return.
Oh, okay.
So that is what's going on behind the chess-like mind. I'm always looking at those numbers for a business. Mm-hmm. And once you can figure that out, you can know, okay, if they spend $30 in ads to get 100, they are still making another 40 because they're spending 30, right?
Okay. I thought it was because I was cool. I'm like, oh, she's cool, I'll help her.
Oh yeah, no, too. Yeah, that too. But yeah, that's the way you have to figure it out in that sense. It's right. Advertising's not for everybody. Right?
It is not for everyone.
No.
That's correct. Yeah, and I noticed that. And I remember in one conversation we had before, you tell me that it's not for everyone.
Right.
So you need to be in some sort of business level in order to understand, okay, this is the time, let's do it, right? And also to have the time to invest in order to respond fast to those prospects, right?
Correct. That's the next part, right? There's three pillars to this game. One is ads, one is nurture. One is ads, content, and nurture. I'm sorry. So it's ads, content, ads, and nurture in that order. So you're a unicorn, right? And these days, a lot more businesses are making content, but still, it's something that is very hard. You make content like, for you, it's very easy to make content.
I actually like it.
Yeah, and you like it, and it's an art form for you, and you improve on it, and you've done it throughout the years. It's always improving. For me, it's cringe, but like I understand. I'm making my own podcast too right now because I understand the value of content. Then it's the ads, right? So in the ad, the only thing content, let's say, what happens with the content is that you, your mom, your siblings see it, right, and probably a few of your friends. If you post it out, if you put it out on a platform, you have a little more following, but that's usually what happens. Then the next thing is ads. When you put ads on top of it, you make everybody see it, right? There's a thought that people put things up on social media and everybody's gonna see it. Nobody see it. It's like a billboard in the desert, right? Putting ads, it's like putting it in the middle of Times Square or like Las Vegas on Harmon and Las Vegas traffic. Boulevard, yeah, right, which is like the new Times Squares that we have here. So yeah, that's what happened. So instead of like 3 or 4 like tumbleweeds passing, a lot of people see you. Once that happens, the next step is what happened with you, for example, was that you were seeing that the prospects, you had to work a lot more to get, you had to work through 20 people to get 1 unit of business. For example, on social media, you probably work through 3 to get 1 unit of business. But in social media, they already know you, right?
Right.
What happens is that when somebody sees you for the first time, they're going to test you more. They're going to ask more questions and all that stuff. So that's where the third part comes in, which is nurture. And nurture is sifting out the looky-loos from the people that are going to buy. And that is like the major thing right now that I am really working on putting into businesses. Even though I don't do it, I put in the ads, but I'm getting partners that do that because 20 or 100 people are gonna they see your billboard in the middle of Times Square, and these people are going to there's gonna be a lot of qualifying there. Not everybody's gonna be your customer. So then out of 100, you probably have 5 in there, and you have to work through those 95s. And that's just the reality of business these days. And a lot of business owners they're hip into the content, into the ads, but that's the part where I see business owners are like, the smart ones are getting hip to. Other people are resisting it, but it's just the reality of business. Out of 95 people probably that you just cold get from social media, maybe 5 to 10 are going to be your true customers. And you got to sift through that. You got to sift through the 90.
So we want to say that probably nurturing is the most important part of this 3?
No, it's all.
It's all
everything.
Together.
It's all together, yeah.
Okay.
Because if you have nurture, but there's no people dropping
True.
into the nurture, then
Yes.
what do you have? It's a triangle.
So it's a great combination
It is.
between the 3 of them.
It is ads, content, ads, and nurture.
So now that we're talking about content, how important is for a business to have social media? Speaking of social media, how important it is for businesses now?
It's like a necessity. There's If you want to be in business in the next 5 years, you're not gonna make it without social media.
And which one do you think is the most important one right now? The one that it's more visible?
Meta is always gonna be.
Which is Instagram and
Instagram and Facebook. That environment. That's gonna be. I don't know, TikTok. I mean, there's a newcomer called TikTok is like. I don't know. I hate TikTok personally.
You have something personal about TikTok.
I have it personal, but I see what they're doing.
Are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok.
Okay.
Yes, I am on TikTok.
You're just not very present and you don't love it.
I'm not that present. I don't love it, but there's a lot of uncertainty with it. Like in January, they're gonna get a big slap from the government unless money moves somewhere or somehow. But and I've seen it. You've seen many platforms come and go, and Meta keeps being the king.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you want to start, if you're a new business, do it with Instagram and Facebook, which are connected, right? So you have only one platform where you manage the whole thing, right?
Yes.
He taught me how to do that. Thank you, Sergio.
You're welcome.
So for somebody that never had a social media platform, what do you think will be the very first step other than opening the social media?
Opening the social media, well, I don't know, go and make answer 10 questions on video about what you do, right? How you help people.
And is
That's
it
a good
Reels? Reels is
Yeah,
what is
reels,
hitting more
reels, yeah.
now?
A minute, minute and a half, and just like answer questions, edit it nice, get a little CapCut app on any phone and just edit it, put in subtitles, drop it in.
There you go. And you have content.
Yes.
And you can probably just slice it, right?
Correct,
And
yeah.
have like 20 pieces of content right there.
What are the top 10 questions your customers ask you? Yes.
Yes. And that's an easy one, right?
Yeah, that's super easy.
So let's talk about the algorithm today, because I remember whenever we talk, that was probably, what was it, like at the beginning of the year, maybe we had a meeting and we talk about this, and you explained to me that now specifically Instagram is favoring more the platforms that are personal brands instead of businesses, right? So how, as a business, my business page, for example, is Jaqueline Andrea photo, and that one gets crickets. And it's very sad, but what I've been doing lately is that I linked it to my personal one, which is the one that gets a lot more crickets. So we get more than that. But you mentioned to me that for some reason now the algorithm is going towards that way. Personal branding.
Yes. Authenticity, right? So what when you're scrolling your Instagram, what do you look for? What makes you stop?
What makes me stop?
Yes.
Oh, puppies.
Puppies. Okay.
Yeah,
Authenticity, entertaining. What else? Like a face, eyes.
Yes.
That's never gonna
absolutely.
change. So one of the things, if you see things that make you stop is eyes and faces, right? That's just a principle because it's familiarity, it's humanness, it's connection, right? So next thing I'm gonna say is it's whatever's authentic. There's a lot of AI going through.
Yes.
But even like when I see the metrics and everything, I don't think it'll replace human connection. I don't know. I may be wrong in 5 years, but I see that a lot and I just go through. So then the algorithms are not that complicated. They're just seeing the behavior of people, right? So whatever makes you stop the scroll or do a like or spend time, I mean, they can see when you stop it and go back, oh my God, that's a major signal. Also, what you're interested in, they're listening to you. I don't care what people say. I don't care if we get banned on this, but they're listening. Somewhere along they're getting it. They're listening because we're talking about whatever, and it'll show up. An ad will show up for it, right? So for us, it makes the work easier. But to go back to your original questions, people don't care about brands. People care about people, right? So what I see happening, to one up that is just do collabs. Use an excuse to collab.
Right.
That's what I'm going to be doing with mine. I know like the Vegas Voices podcast is going to be just a profile by itself, but I'm going to do a collab with myself, right?
Right.
And then you do a collab with another person, right? So let's say, for example, I interview you. So I do a collab with myself, with the Vegas Voices podcast, or you can do it for your She Means Business. You do triple collab, right?
Yes.
So you're personal with a brand, with another person. That's working really good right now in organic. Go ahead.
Sorry. So the algorithm works differently for everyone, right? So it's not like it's a set. This is the algorithm. This is how it's going to work. It depends on every single person.
Correct. One of the things that I love doing is watching other people on their feed and seeing how they behave and what they're looking at. Everybody's feed is different. That's the thing about social media. It's that it's tailored to you. It's that the algorithms see what you do, see your behavior, and they feed more of that. They see what you like and they feed you more of what you like or what you're interested in.
Right. And you touched something very interesting as well, that is the AI, right? So that's coming. And one of the things that I notice is that we have a lot of opportunities. And I say it this way is because I still don't see the opportunity, but I'm sure there is, when it comes to automatic responses, or now Meta, for example, has AI. How can that benefit us, and what is the maybe don't do if you want to keep being authentic in social media?
With AI, I mean, use it as a tool. Use it to help you make your scripts. Use it to help you, even a script made like perfect and read by a person, or at least authentically, is gonna work better than those little apps right now that you feed it and then a person comes up and they talk and they say. So I mean, for AI right now, leverage things that, for example, take off the load from the first contact. So let's say you need to chat with 100 people. So have an AI that can do the first point of contact. That can be used right now pretty reliably. But then still, there probably has to be a human on the other end when you want to sell at the end. So right now, just AI, use it to leverage simple tasks. I don't think more human tasks are still replaceable. They will. They might. I don't know.
Not yet, though.
But still, those who are willing to, there's this wave of things that are like everything AI and don't do work. I mean, I use AI every day and I still work a lot. It just amplified my work. Right?
I still work a lot. What's happening?
Right. It made it more complex. There's people that are falling behind. What I do, I call it knowledge arbitrage, because you know a little bit more than the guy behind. You can charge a premium to help them. And AI has just, in the ad space, it's made it more complicated. It's made it harder. So what does that mean? That I still get a job, that I still get and come and figure it out. And I think still they've tried for over 10 years, Google, to replace everything with AI. And it's an imperfect marketplace and there's human emotions involved. So when there's that happening, a machine still can't figure it out.
Yes. And when you say human emotions, I have a friend, a very good friend, and she was so excited about this system that will help her respond to messages on her social media with her own voice, with all predicted responses. And she was so excited about it. And I remember I sent her several messages before that. And I just thought, so it was not you responding all this time? And she said, no, it was my AI. And I felt so bad. That made me feel so bad, because I was like, so here I am telling you how much I admire you. So I feel that a business like mine, which I feel that it's like a more boutique business where I love contact with people, maybe I'm trying to stay away from it. I'm trying to stay away from automatic responses. It's usually me who responds to all the messages. Even sometimes it's in the morning early or at night, it's me, because I want to keep that authenticity. I don't want people to go through a robot to talk to me. So would you say that these AI responses, for example, are more for businesses that are like higher quantity maybe, or they are not so luxury?
Definitely.
Right.
I mean, anybody can use it. Like you got fooled by your friend, but I mean, you felt that sensation in the pit of your stomach. That might not be that way in 5 years, right? Everybody will be used to talking to AI. So.
And it's whenever you call, for example, right? The phones.
Yeah.
Now it's pretty much all robots, right? So, but you're used to it, as you say. It's like it's been so long. So maybe use that as just like a specific tool for specific businesses.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, there's so much to choose from. Absolutely. And it's, Jackie, I mean, you're a boutique business. There's only so much you're going to be able to make, but you're happy with that. That makes you happy. It's, a friend was telling me the other day, like, really think about your business this way. Is this really what you want? Like, we're always like, as men, for example, it's like scale. And in my business, like, scaling is always unlimited. So then I'm always like, and a friend just stopped me and said, look, man, I mean, because I'm in a point where I'm comfortable and we're making good money and everything's good. But I'm like, why am I not like pushing for scale and stuff like that? And a friend told me, like, are you happy? Is this what you want? Scaling might bring you a lot more headaches, right? And is that what you want? Mm-hmm. So it's just very personal. This is a very boutique operation. You have a lot of success already. You have a big reputation. If it pays the bills and gives you a little extra for a nice car or whatever, and then and time with your kids and with your grandkids and all that stuff. So it's it's wherever you're at, right?
Right. So it depends. So it depends on your vision and what makes you happy.
Exactly. But yeah, for businesses at scale, definitely AI is a way.
Right. So going back to Google Ads, which is, I know that's your tu mero mero mole. Yeah. So I remember whenever we were doing our Google Ads, you worked in, I think it's called A/B testing, right? So whenever you have two different ads and you post two different ads, and this is completely out of the subject of the AI, but it came to my mind. I'm like, okay, so you have the A/B testing. So you have two ads that you post at the same time, and you see which one performs better, right? Can you explain me a little bit how that works?
Cool. So let's say we post a picture of you with your green shirt, and it says photography, and then we're gonna test out, let's say, a color, right? So to see what works best, and we change your color from green to red, and we put them out there in the world, and whatever, like the algorithm now can tell you what stopped the scroll or what people clicked on, or there's several metrics, and once you see that, you can tell, oh, Jackie performs better in a red dress, so let's use more red for Jackie, right? So that would be an oversimplification, but
so from there you're like, okay, red is her color, so let's
it gets you can measure, like the green got 50 clicks and the red got 60.
Okay. And can anyone do that, or do we need somebody like you to do it?
I mean, there's experience tells you a lot of how to do this, right?
Tricks, because I remember you have a lot of tricks. It's not tricks really. It's like shortcuts, maybe.
Yeah, the shortcuts.
Yeah,
I'll give you an easy one. For example, it's called reward bias, right? We have these cognitive biases, which makes us as humans act in very predictable ways, right? We're all very predictable. People think they're the unicorn or the snowflake, but there's a lot of psychology behind our behavior, and we are like 95% the same in a lot of things, right? So human beings are we think like, oh, women are unpredictable. We are the most predictable. Women are the most predictable.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but human beings are very predictable, right? I'm giving you the hack, then we can go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
So then there's this bias that we're always looking in what's in it for us, right? So if you know how to put yourself in the mind of the other person and see what's in it for them, that's the reward, right? So it's very simple. It's like there's doctors that are like, oh, I'm the greatest doctor, right? Nobody cares that you're the greatest doctor. But then what if you put in, okay, so we'll do breast implants for $39.99, for example. That is a very quick benefit. People know, okay, so I'm gonna get breast implants and it's gonna cost this much, right? They don't care who does it or whatever. I mean, that's a secondary decision. But the first thing is like, what is the reward? What's going to be, what are you going to get? And a lot of times now it's like, even for how much, right? And I'm not talking about branding. I'm just talking about the business next door. What benefit are you giving your customer? So then you can A/B test that, right? So is it like you're going to get a greener grass, or is it going to be better, or the price, right? So you test out those rewards, and those are like the little like shortcuts that you were talking about.
Yes.
Right.
So basically, what you say, because I remember I tried to do it myself, and honestly, I think that I put the money in the wrong places. And whenever you went through what I was doing, you were like, I think I invested like $900 towards some of the, how you call it, the keywords?
Yeah, keywords.
Yeah, so towards the keywords, and they were wrong. So it was $900 gone. And then whenever you fixed it, everything started going perfectly. And we know that Google is not something that is immediate, right? It takes some time. So how can people find those keywords?
The keywords.
How do you think, like, oh, these are the perfect keywords for you?
It's super simple. So how do you look for? What was the last thing that you bought off Google that you were looking for?
Let's see. Well, I bought so many things after
Last service, just the last service.
let's see. Well, just this morning, okay? Let's think about this morning. So this morning I was going crazy because I have my nephew's birthday is today. And I didn't know what to get him. And I don't know how in my algorithm, I don't know what I was talking about, but in my algorithm I started getting like all that, right? But I was like, okay, kids toys, kids 10-year-olds toys.
Right. So, okay. So then if you're a store that sells 10-year-old kids, like you went direct to what you wanted. Kids, 10-year-old kids gifts, right? Right now, people want what they want and they want it now.
Right.
Back in the day, everybody was trying to game the system. Like, how do I, like, they would target keywords. How do I get a 10-year-old happy gift so that they can be happy, right?
Is that a keyword?
It could be, right?
It could be.
It could be a search term, right? But yeah, but people don't do that anymore. They just go directly to what it is.
Maybe gifts for boys.
Yeah, gifts for boys, or yeah, whatever. Exactly, whatever you sell, just I'll tell you, for example, we run a turf company, so it's like turf. That's like I want to install turf installation. We don't go even further than that. Like turf installation, 3,
Just
4,
turf.
5, 6. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, turf. It could be like people looking to buy the material, but somebody just find it's called higher intent. So portrait photography could be for your industry, right? So I want to get portrait photography, and then you exclude whatever is like cheap, for example, because you're not cheap. That's not the person you're looking for. Or high end portrait photography, or high quality, or the best, right? But there's not a lot of complications to keywords these days. It's just like what is, you put yourself in the mind of the customer and what are they gonna be looking for, and what are they gonna want right now. It's gonna be 3 or 4 things. That's it. That's all you need for Google Ads.
So your first should be 3 or 4 keywords.
Yeah.
The best ones.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah, I think
those.
Exactly. Yes.
And what is a good investment for somebody that is starting, for example, in Google Ads?
I recommend always $1,000, right? It's always good, at least to get you will know after $1,000, you will know a lot of things. You will know if your offer is good, because if your offer is good, somebody's going to buy. It goes the other way around always. It's the offer. And then, you're going to know who's competing. One of the cool things about Google Ads is that you can tell who's competing against you very easily. They give you that data, right?
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You can know exactly. I think we went through it.
We did it. Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And you can know that absolutely 100%. So then this guy's spending more than me, or whatever. You can tell who's spending more money than you and what you can tell a lot of things. So you get a lot of information. At least it's a good exercise.
Just to get started.
Just to get started, to learn about yourself, and to say, I'm gonna burn $1,000. Right?
Which happens to me, but I didn't. And I literally burned them.
You and millions of other businesses, that's how Google makes their money. There is a lot of perverse incentives, but I'm not going to go down that side of that.
No, we're not going to go down that road. Yes. We don't want to. Well, I feel that there is a lot more that we can talk about Google Ads, social media ads. And I know you are my go-to person. And that's why I wanted to have you in this podcast, because I know a lot of business people that watches our podcast. And I really feel that some of us, like me, we need your help. So I'm gonna just do a quick break and then just to announce our sponsors. But after we come back, I would love to hear how we can find you. This podcast episode is brought to you by Addis Boutique. Confidence and style, one woman at a time. All right, so we are back with Sergio Chavez. He is an expert in Google Ads and social media ads. How can people find you?
Okay, so I love GoogleAds.com.
Wow. Okay, that was easy. So I
Uh,
love GoogleAds.com. How about social media?
Social media, SergioChavezLV.
And you're starting a podcast as well.
I'm starting the Vegas Voices podcast, 2025. We're shooting to
Nice.
make 100 episodes during the year.
Woo!
Yeah, we're going to be featuring the builders, movers, shakers that make the city. That is the objective of the podcast.
Beautiful.
It'll be business owners. I'm looking to interview celebrities. I'm looking to interview, I might end up in Dana White's or
There
Mr.
you go.
Steve Wynn's,
I love
in their
your
place.
vision.
And we're gonna be going. And we're gonna be going to them. That's gonna be the thing about it. It's gonna be very NPR, like NPR is an old radio station, and they always interviewed people, and you could hear the background noise and stuff like that. So it's gonna be very organic. It's
Very
gonna be
cool,
nice.
very fun. And so make sure that you follow all those pages because he's going to be giving a lot of content that is very valuable as well. So I wish you the best in this new project, this new podcast. I will go through true or false. So this is our fun bell.
Okay.
Don't read it.
Okay.
No, read it. Read it. So
It says ring for sex.
yeah,
There you
he
go.
had to read it. He said he was going to call me out on that one, and
There you
here
go.
I am trying to hide it. But did you see how he rang the bell and looked that way? That's because wife is right there. Yay! So this is false, okay, and this is true, okay. And if you need to elaborate in your responses, please go ahead, okay?
Okay.
So once we understand the algorithm changes. True or false? True. Yes. Business accounts have less presence or less reach than personal accounts. We talk about this. We said, you said that personal branding is a lot better now because people want to see people faces.
Yes.
Yes. Do videos work better than photos in social media for engagement?
What's the middle?
That's true or false?
It's
Okay.
half and half.
Got it. Okay.
Right now it's half and half.
I'm going to do it a true or false.
Right.
So videos work better than social media. True or false? Hold on. Videos work better than photos in social media. True or false?
Half.
No. It's true or
Both.
false? So why?
Right now, pictures are making a big comeback because I see the numbers behind the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
photographers,
there's
you
a
hear
lot.
that?
Yeah, there's a lot going on with stills. Yes.
But it has nothing to do with carousels because carousels became a big thing and it's where you had the opportunity to put more photos, right?
Carousels. People are getting more inventive on the messages, memes. So no, it's half and half right now.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That makes me so happy because there was a time where photos were like, "Mwah." And I'm like, okay, photographers, let's start making videos. Let's just do that.
No, it's coming back, making a big comeback. So yeah,
Hashtags don't work anymore. True or false?
they work. I mean, they.
So
Okay, so as a hack. Okay. So as a hack, no, but like if you wanna, like let's say you want to have a catalog for your things, so you hashtag it one way, like your photos, like Jaqueline Andrea always. It's like leaving a signature on a post because it's leaving a historical signature. So if you want to do that, yeah, they work amazing.
but you don't have to put like 20 hashtags in a post, right?
No.
It's just the most important ones.
Correct.
And I also read, and correct me if I am wrong, I also read that the caption, the keywords that you put in your captions are a lot more important now, and they're going to work better than hashtags nowadays.
1000%.
Yes?
Yes.
So is that super true?
Yes.
That's great, because that way we don't have to be copying and pasting the hashtags. It was so annoying.
I know. But keep yours, like keep Jaqueline Andrea, because then like probably in 20 years when your kids are looking you up, they can see all your archive on the
I
internet.
never thought about that.
It's archival, yeah.
Because usually I just put Jackie size. That's my hashtag.
Yeah, there
I
you
don't
go.
Put Jaqueline Andrea.
There you go. I don't know what that they do. You have it. But
Okay. So I'll
Just tell your
keep
grandkids.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Keep it that way because it could be a signature eventually.
yeah, It's an archive.
Beautiful. I love it. So reposting anything in stories without context is an error. True or false?
False.
I love how it's like, is that a question?
It's a good question.
Okay. Can you elaborate more on that? What made you think?
So let's say somebody makes a story about you, and I mean, it's completely out of context, but you want to show it, so you show it.
But does he get more engagement?
Does it get more engagement?
Yeah.
It depends on you. It depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay. So it could be true, it could be false.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. It's also.
Yeah.
Yeah. People that consume Instagram or social media the most are the ones that grow faster in the platforms.
That consume?
Yes. Yes.
You have to produce.
Right. So somebody that doesn't go on social media at all, let's say you don't like TikTok, right? So you don't go on TikTok, but your platform is TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't consume the platform.
Oh, for understanding. Yeah, I get
for
it.
understanding and for growing, maybe, no?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that way you're kind of communicating more with your own people, right? The people
Correct.
that follows you. But go on TikTok. No, I'm kidding.
No, I am going on TikTok.
All right.
I am.
So TikTok is entertainment, YouTube is education, and Instagram is right in the middle with edutainment is a new term. Is that true or false? Is it false?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So now it's a
Status.
mix?
It's status. Instagram is status.
Instagram is status.
I really don't. I mean, I don't know. Does a reel educate you? Yeah, kind of. Okay, fair enough. But I think Instagram is the platform of status.
Okay.
Because only the best content wins on Instagram. It's very easy to see that.
Huh. How?
Just look at your Instagram, right? Only the best. Like, I get, even if I like some certain cat cartoons, there are cartoons that get millions of shares and stuff like that. Yeah, the best content wins. I just see it over and over. Like the highest quality content wins. And on TikTok, you don't see that. You just see whatever
It's
more or less interests you, and but high quality content. So I say, I would say Instagram is a platform of status.
Has status. And then YouTube is education still?
YouTube is education long form. For me, YouTube is my favorite social media platform because I get educated all the time. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to people.
Yes.
What's the latest on crypto? Exercise. And I watch.
Yeah, it has everything.
Yes.
Pretty much, right? Yeah. And before, I remember whenever YouTube started, it used to be a platform where you just like watch funny videos, right? Whenever it started, like, long time ago.
Yes.
Right? And now it grew to be so important to the point that we all pay happily $22 a month.
I still pay $13. I don't know. I think I'm grandfathered in. So yeah.
Oh, because I have the family.
Yeah.
Well, this is not,
I happily pay that.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I happily pay for it because it's like better than TV. I watch YouTube more than TV, so I'm on podcasts all the time.
Yes.
So I love YouTube.
On the
I
car.
love.
I don't do music. I do podcasts. Something that's gonna feed my mind.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I feel again that we have a lot more to talk about this. I invite everyone to go and watch Sergio Chavez podcast when are you releasing this podcast? January?
It's gonna be 2025. Yes.
2025. So look it up for 2025. And the name is
The Vegas Voices Podcast.
Yes, and please go check out his page as well because this guy knows what he's doing, and every time I put my money on his business, it returns like 3, 4, 5 times, and I love that, of course, as a business owner. So recommend me a book. I need a new book.
Let's see. Right now I'm reading Storybrand.
Storybrand.
Yeah.
I have it in my Audible. You just started it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you're applying it fantastically because the basic concept of it is to make your customer the hero of their own story. Not you, not the business. It's your customer. What are you doing with that?
She means business.
Right. It's not even about you.
No.
You know, you're making she is she's the hero, right? And you're making them the hero of the story. So that's the basic premise of the book. You can like go into it and see, and
Yes.
but you're doing that formula brilliantly right now. So
Interesting. And I do it organically because I never read the book. So
and that's why you're so successul.
I will love to read the book. So Story Brand, correct? That's the name of the book.
Story brand.
Love it, Sergio. We already say how people can find you, but can you repeat that, your social media, please?
Okay, so SergioChavez.com. I love GoogleAds.com. And on Instagram, I'm the most active, which is SergioChavezLV. And then you can look for me also. I think I'm on LinkedIn on SergioChavezLV. And
He's gonna finish this podcast.
Yeah.
That. All right. And he goes, my quote, thank you so much for coming to the podcast. Thank you for your time. I love what you're doing. I really admire you because you are a brain with legs. So I love it. I love it every time I talk to you. I do learn a lot, and I appreciate that, Sergio. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your knowledge. And well, I'm going to finish this podcast with social media is about the people, not about your business. Provide for the people, and the people will provide for you. And that is by Matt Coulard.
oh, wow.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening the She Means Business Master Society podcast. We will see you in the next episode.